Hello, what's going on, guys? My name's T-Gigazilla here, and I'm back with another video. Yes, I'm making an intro for once in my life. I don't know what's going on here. I am with Smocter. Say hello, bud.
If everything blows up, it's his fault.
Of course it is. I'm the one doing everything. Anyway, welcome to, I guess, a Wild Hearts video. Not the typical one, I guess.
Yeah.
So, this video is going to be quite a bit different. Unfortunately, Germs and I decided to play Detective, and it didn't go over very well.
Yeah.
So, before we say anything else, blame Jeremy, blame Smocter, because this was his idea.
You started it. You need to own up, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was the one who wanted to go fight the giant poison beak, so I don't want to...
Oh, no, I'm not blaming you for fighting him. You're the one who discovered him, though.
Well, we saw him like 4 or 5 times. Okay, apparently should we explain this crap before we start fighting over it?
Yeah.
Okay, so, for context, this recording that you are seeing was done, what? Ah, gosh, like, not even 3 days ago, but almost about a week since the last time we played Wild Hearts.
Yeah.
And we were doing some grinding because we were setting up, getting ready for episode 6, which is going to be coming out probably... We're probably going to record this in the next week or so, at least. But
Yeah.
we decided to do some grinding, and we happened to see a certain poisonous bird, Kamano, running around. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th time we saw it. And Jeremy had the bright idea to just straight up start fighting it.
Well, and in my defense, again, I'm going to just say this for the record. In my defense, I was assuming that this creature was basically the equivalent of you going from low rank and running into Tigrex in master rank. Like, I didn't think we were going to stand a chance at all. So that was my thought process. It was just simply, we see a new creature, it's probably going to kill us in one hit, let's just see how far we get.
Little did we know that we would actually end up killing it after 20 minutes. So, how to say this without sounding stupid? We decided to try to fight it. Because we were just curious what would happen. As you can see from my screen right now, it obviously started out great as I got murdered in the first 5 minutes. But it's something we were just curious about because, again, like Germ said, we thought we were going to get smoked. Absolutely just smoked. And that didn't quite go as how we planned. So, to put it simply, the reason this video is being recorded is because I think a lot of people, at least our viewers, are a little confused why we are playing Wild Hearts because we seem to rage at the game quite a lot. And I think I should let you take the lead on this because I think you've kind of been throwing most of the shade at it.
Yeah. This is basically just us prefacing is we are not shitting on Wild Hearts, saying that it's a shitty game and hating on it because we hate the game. That's not the issue. The issue is that we are A, not good at the game currently, so we have no idea what the fuck is going on. So we're struggling in that sense because we're still trying to figure things out. Second of all, we're actively outing our frustration because these monsters don't have scripted attacks. So while yes, they have attacks that they repeat, unlike Monster Hunter, they don't have like huge tells of what the hell's going on, especially when they rage. If you guys go back, this recording is probably going to come after King Tusk.
Yeah, this would be after Spine Glider.
Yeah, if you guys go back to King Tusk, when he enrages, other than his charge, like his big charge, there is no tell if he's going to hop, if he's going to spin, what the hell he's going to do. At least I haven't figured out one.
I've noticed that there's like slight minute tells, but that would just be me with my kind of Monster Hunter brain going about it. So, I don't know.
It is not us hating the game. We are loving the game, and we're very excited to see more of it. we just start actively outing our frustration because we have no idea what the hell's going on. And if any of you who watch these videos have ever played Dark Souls, the first one, if you have gone through Dark Souls, you understand that there's a level of frustration that you get towards, like, the bosses and certain areas. They're just plain frustrating. You love the game, you hate what's going on. That's basically what we're going through right now. Now, I will not compare Wild Hearts to Dark Souls. It's not nearly as hard as that. But it is challenging for us.
Yeah, and to be fair, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people understand with us. And again, we don't have the same background as a lot of these people do. I come from a series of games where you kind of have to outthink your problems. Jeremy comes from a game where he kind of just expects a gimmick to be there and follow something. Am I wrong in saying that?
And also I come from a letter of games that basically says, this is the mechanic, this is what you do, you win. Not, this is the mechanic, figure the frick out what to do.
Right. So there's a little bit difference of operating, I guess is the word to use here, that we're not quite getting with Wild Hearts. Now, again, this is not to say Wild Hearts is a bad game. This is not to say that we're shitting on this game entirely. This video is being made to, one, show you the Fume Beak footage, because we did get footage of it, and we were thinking we might as well just show it in case we run into him again without context. Two, we are of a different, I guess, breed of gamers I don't think Wild Hearts was expecting us to show up. So, in that regard, we are throwing ourselves to the woods and forcing ourselves to adapt and learn to a different kind of game style. Hopefully I'm not sounding like a complete idiot with saying that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we've been programmed. We've not been playing Monster Hunter long compared to a lot of the other people, and that's where most of our game knowledge is from. Games like Monster Hunter, Zelda, Metroid for you, I know that for a fact. Or I guess another game series for me would be oh crap, what's that called? I'm gonna forget the game name now. God damn it. But like, we're used to games either selling us a gimmick or not giving us a gimmick at all.
Yeah.
And Wild Hearts seems to do a bit of both.
Well, and I will say also this, because this is another thing to preface. If someone were to ask me, having, like, just intro to Wild Hearts, and just intro to Monster Hunter, like, if they had asked me back when I was playing Monster Hunter World for the first time, and then let's say they had me go through, let's say, just to Anjanath, and then play Wild Hearts and fight Sap Scourge, and ask me which one do I think is better, I would have to go Monster Hunter in terms of learning Monster Hunter is a lot easier than learning Wild Hearts. But the whole point of Wild Hearts is not supposed to be easy.
Right. Wild Hearts kind of follows that old school Monster Hunter style where you have to learn as you go.
Yep. So it's like, I love my umbrella weapon that I figured out, and I'll never remember the name for anyone who comments and it's like, geez, call it by the right name. It's an umbrella, okay? That's what it is. It's an umbrella blade.
It's Glazed Reject Cousin.
They call it. Like, actually, it's called a cigarette. Whatever. I don't care. It's an umbrella with blades. Anyway, I love my umbrella. But that counter, for the longest time, did not make any sense to me. I just found out recently that apparently I need to hit the monster first and build up some charge before my counter works. That's what I was reading someone saying online. I don't know if that's true. So far, it's been working that way.
Well, I found out.
Still not perfect at it.
Well, I found out with the bow, after those certain hits, I see those strands kind of flying toward me. That's the Surikawa strand things that you get from hitting parts off. I had no idea. I had zero clue. I was wondering why my thread gauge was so high. was like, okay.
Yeah. So for those of you guys wondering, like, we are still actively learning this game, and it is not that we hate it at all. It is just we are still learning. Bear with us, because we are not going to be doing too well for a little bit.
Well, and the other thing to bring up and kind of say is we try to play these games as raw as we can. We try not to look anything into it. Try not to remember anything. We kind of like to learn as we go. And especially for me, that's a lot harder because I know Jeremy's a little easier at doing this, where he kind of just doesn't look up anything. I actually have to tell myself not to look up stuff unless we get stuck, because we often can get stuck in games like this where we don't really have a good idea of what's going on.
No.
So we aren't part of this like Gen Z initiative where you have to look up meta builds, look up crap to figure out everything. We are kind of more of a raw style of gamers where we have to learn by ourselves. Which I know people are going to add us for.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like, I'm going to say this for the video's sake. Everyone can have their fun in their own way. There is nothing wrong with that. Now, if you are actively shooting yourself in the foot and making no progress for no apparent reason, that's a different issue. What me and Fred here are more often used to is we hit a wall, we get bounced back from the wall, we turn around, we look at it, and we say, okay, this didn't work, let's try this. And we rinse and repeat that process until something works. Now, if we've tried everything in our minds that we can possibly understand, and we're still hitting that wall, then yes, we will look something up, be like, okay, why are we hitting this wall? Now, for example, in the old FNAF World game that came out years ago, FNAF World RPG, during the DLC, if you went to go fight the rainbow, it actually was physically impossible to kill that rainbow until you unlocked Nightmare Balloon Boy. It is actually coded into the game until you unlock him.
Actually,
I don't know if that's still the case when it received its last update. I don't know. But I know that at some point when it got its DLC, you had to have Nightmare Balloon Boy to collect it. So if it's something like that, where me and Fred are fighting a monster over and over and over and over again, and we're just losing, getting our asses handed to us, I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? And then we look it up and find out that you need a certain armor to even pass, the monster. Fine. But as he said before, we are not the people who are like, oh, this monster's hard. What's the most meta build and easy ways to kill him? That's not us.
Yeah, no, and if that wasn't clear before we started Wild's Let's Play, I don't know what you want us to do here.
Yeah.
Like we've been playing Monster Hunter now for what? We're probably getting on 6 years here. 7 years, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, because so we do have some degree of understanding of games of that caliber. And again, Jeremy does have some recollection with Dark Souls, as that's kind of stuff he's dabbled in more than me. But that being said, we don't exactly have that preference to look up and, ask for help. Because that's just not how we're programmed.
Yep.
So, and I bet you anything. That's probably a good reason why a lot of people are looking at us like we're absolute idiots sometimes. But that's just how we're trained. It's not because we don't want help, it's because we don't like to have the help if we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And obviously help is much appreciated when it's something that we can't do. But it's something that makes it a little bit more challenging.
Kind of a side rant there is, one of our friends got us into Ark. For those of you who watched our intro to Wilds episode 1, we were in Ark doing the intro.
Right.
I had never played Aberration. I still not finished Aberration in Ark Survival Ascended, but one of our friends, Oram, who's been in our Minecraft recordings, he had said that the whole point of Aberration is that there are no flyers. There are things that can jump from wall to wall and can glide, but there are no flyers. And he was complaining that there is a DLC you can buy that gives you a blimp, so you can just fly over everything. I told Oram that if the whole point of the map was that there's no flyers, you have to figure out better ways of transportation on how to get up and down, I wouldn't install that DLC. Because if the whole point of it is not to have flyers, I will honor that because that's the point of the map. That's what makes it hard. If you just take the challenge out, then why are you playing the map in the first place?
Yeah, and I can agree to that. Now, when it comes to mods, that's a little different story, but I can agree to DLC that's something that should be honored rather than just flatline ignored.
Yeah. So, I am not against the challenge. Neither is T-Gig. We both here are ready to, fight a monster that kicks the shit out of us and makes us think. That is fine.
Magnamalo.
Just don't mistake our frustration for hatred.
Especially with unhinged as we are.
Yeah.
If that wasn't a clue enough, both of us are very unhinged, and that's kind of the point. We're not here to make money. We're not here to, be a big be big YouTubers and honor stuff like that. We're just here to share our experiences with the world around us. We like this as a hobby. That's kind of our point here.
Yep.
But we are unhinged to a point where we're probably not YouTube safe anymore. But that's the point of this.
Is why we mark our content not meant for kids.
But that's the point, is because if you're just going to bottle yourself up, then what's the point in trying, right?
Yeah.
So while yes, we get very frustrated, we get very annoyed, we get very angry at a lot of situations, especially with each other. Diversity.
Yep.
We do it because that's kind of how we're programmed.
Yep.
We're meant we don't mind us getting pissed off. Now it can be annoying when it doesn't stop, but that's the point. We just show our frustration and then learn from our frustration and anger. That's just how it's been.
Yep.
And I think even Germs could attest to this. This is just something that we're both programmed to do. Now, obviously, it's probably not what everyone does. And fair enough, everyone's got their own way to learn. But when it comes to games like Wild Hearts, well, yes, we are loving the game. And I want to just emphasize that to a point of hilarious degree. We throw ourselves at this unhinged adaptability because that's the way we both learn. If we can't learn, then what's the point in trying? Am I wrong in saying that?
No, you're not wrong at all. So, but yeah, just, again, guys, we wanted to preface this because we don't want to get the reputation of someone like Professor, who his whole gimmick and shtick is raging at things. Just don't mistake our raging for frustration.
Right. It's it's kind of that thing. We really, if we didn't go after Fumebeak, I think that was the clue. We didn't like Wild Hearts. So the fact that we did this off recording, we kind of just said, you know what, let's have some fun, let's see what happens. I think that can kind of throw us to it. We like playing this game. Sure, it's annoying. Sure, the gimmicks are a little weird, but we just haven't learned it yet.
Yep.
We recently refought Spine Glider just to kind of get more weapons and armor out of him, and I was trying to actually learn how to use the Karakuris, which is something I'd never done in the recordings, and I know it's probably going to be a good idea to learn that in the future. So we are understanding that there's stuff here. we're just trying to learn, and unfortunately, the way we learn is by yelling at our screens for about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it's not to take away from the fact that we don't like this game. We love this game. Hell, if I wouldn't have bought $70 for this game if I didn't like it.
Yep.
So, but anyway, as you can see now, Fumebeak just got done on my screen. So that is the end of Fumebeak, and hopefully we can get back to the regular rescheduled content. We just wanted to make this video to show off Fumebeak, because Lord knows people are going to be thrown out of context from that.
Yep.
And we also want to make it clear, and this is not just for Wild Hearts, it's for every game that we'll ever play. We learn through our anger and our frustration.
Yep.
That's just the point of it. Anyway, unless you have anything else to bring up.
Do we want to do our thoughts on Fumebeak?
Yeah, why don't you go first since you brought the idea up? I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So, Fumebeak, as you saw in the recording, the poison, I will say, wasn't as prevalent. To be honest, throughout the entire fight, and maybe this was more so on T-Gig's end, I didn't get hit with poison all that much, but when I did, it just realistically just didn't seem to do all that much.
Yeah, I noticed the poison had a charge up meter.
Yeah. So, maybe there will be worse poison monsters later on. That's completely possible.
Yeah.
And, it might be the bane of our existence. But, the thing that worries me is later on, after defeating Fumebeak, I read the bio on it, and the bio on poison, how to get rid of it. And basically, as far as I could tell, we're not even near an area that gives us an antidote for the poison. So basically, the recommendation is don't get hit. And I'm like, well, that's perfect. So, with that in mind, Fumebeak was not that bad. His spins and his dive bombs were a little bit annoying, but after we figured out that the dive bomb could be blocked by the giant wall that blocks King Tusk,
and then the spin...
honestly, not that bad.
The spin we found out is just we can't make contact with his lower body, which I thought was a really weird gimmick, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so overall, my final closing thoughts on Fumebeak is not the worst monster to fight.
Far from it.
He is definitely not as much of a pain in the butt as Spine Glider was.
Or King Tusk, yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
Or King Tusk. Is he annoying with some of his moves? Absolutely. But if I were to say who I would rather fight out of King Tusk, Spine Glider, or him, I'd rather fight him.
Right, and to be fair, Fumebeak we only fought once, and that's kind of the point was we just wanted to fight and to see what happened. We didn't realize we'd kill him. But he seems to be this kind of game's aerial assassin, it feels like. But again, we don't know for sure because this is only our sixth monster, something like that. So the fact that he wasn't as dangerous for flying, I thought it was interesting, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yep.
And now that you mentioned poison not having a real antidote for us at the moment in the game, kind of makes sense why I think then it wasn't doing hardly anything damage-wise.
Right.
And again, it might just be a thing where we kind of asked too early to go fight it, but I feel like Fumebeak has probably been one of the better experiences personally.
Right.
I mean,
and I have to say that if Fumebeak ends up being say, this world's version of Pookie Pookie, and that was our intro to poison, fine. Honestly, I would not mind that.
Yeah.
If I were to compare Fumebeak to Pookie Pookie, I honestly would rather Fumebeak. Not saying Pookie Pookie's bad, but in this instance, Fumebeak would be better in terms of a poison monster intro.
Yeah, well, and again, we also have done some research as well since the last time because we were a little curious about again how the elements worked, how ailments worked. So I did a little more digging, and we did notice that there's not a crap ton of monsters in this game. I saw we had like 23 total, something like that. So the fact that this guy is as unique as he is, and we just randomly found him on his King Tusk map, on King Tusk's quest, and just happened to be here. It was kind of interesting. Kind of has that little bit of world building, so to speak, where these guys kind of naturally are animals running around.
Yeah.
But I really do like this guy. As much as he was kicking our ass, I think that was because we were going in expecting to die very quickly. So
no, and like obviously we went in with that expectation because of the fact we had no idea how strong he was, no idea how like ferocious he was gonna be. So
and
kind of a hit or miss.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think when we could actually get to fight him in the story, I think we're going to love him a lot more because we'll be more equipped for it too.
Yeah.
But as is, he was definitely a very interesting fight, very personality driven. I found with especially his idle animations and kind of the way he was attacking us too. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of it, really.
Yeah.
We actually went longer than the footage itself. Funny enough. But
if we were to say one thing, like, do I wish by any means that Fumebeak had popped up sooner? Absolutely, actually. I think he would have been a better intro monster than the rat, to be honest.
I would think he'd kind of be like right after the rat, maybe after Sapscourge even. Like he adds a gimmick. Well, I guess it's not a prominent gimmick. There's a gimmick there that we kind of would probably be kind of screwed with on tutorial monsters.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize this till later, but Ragetail actually has an attribute or an element.
Really?
Yeah, he apparently has, I think it's wood.
Huh.
But it's not an actual, like, thing that hurts us.
That's interesting.
It's kind of like a Explorer's Earth element in Monster Hunter Explorer, where it kind of was there, but it doesn't have an actual ailment. Which, that's interesting that that's a gimmick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually like Fumebeak, and I'm hoping we have the same theory or opinions about him when we actually fight him for real and grind his armor, because his armor looks pretty sick as well.
Yep. So, one last note I will leave off on, because Fumebeak actually did help us realize this, but from when this video comes up, I don't know if we'll be, so we'll be past King Tusk. I hope we'll be done with the town, and we'll have at least pointed this out before this recording comes out, but if we haven't, for context, me and T-Gig both found out that meter at the bottom of the upgrade station when you're forging armor and weapons is a meter for human versus nature.
Right.
And Fumebeak specifically gives you a huge boost towards human, which is the left side.
I thought it was nature.
So, as far as I remember it, I could be wrong on this, we may have to look back at this, but as far as I understand, left side is human, right side is nature, and I thought I remember seeing Fumebeak's armor go more to the left.
So I just remember there was a lot of, like, upgrades if you went to the right that would give you extra abilities and stuff, extra traits.
Yeah. So that was the other thing. So we also found out that some armor pieces have more traits if you lean towards a certain aspect. So that is one of the differences we did notice, is that if you lean more towards human, you get one attribute. If you lean more towards nature, you get another. So that's certainly going to be interesting. I don't know how far they're going to take that later in the game, but we shall see.
Well, considering we're about a fourth of the way through the creatures, which is interesting, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I'm very curious to see how this game progresses. And again, like we said, we are very frustrated with the game, but that's because we're not learning it properly. But this game has some very interesting gimmicks and ideas that I don't see Monster Hunter doing anytime soon, realistically.
Yeah.
But that's not to say it's a bad thing or a good thing. I think, honestly, diversity is definitely a very nice thing to have.
Yep.
But let's see. So next up, I think our next recording. Maybe we can like make a teaser or whatever for this. Our next recording, we were gonna go through. We weren't gonna hit to Lavaback quite yet, because that's our next target, from my understanding. But we were gonna go after Grit Dog and Dreadbeak. Was it?
I think that was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, because we unfortunately still need armor from the Spine Glider set. But you need to hunt Dreadbeak to get it. So that's probably going to be our next episode. Is going to be Grit Dog and Dreadbeak, and then we'll probably run into Lavaback, which we have unfortunately discovered Lavaback. We just haven't seen it.
Yeah, we heard him. We apparently discovered him, but we didn't actually see him.
Yes, and that's that. If you saw the start of this recording, you saw there was some text going on. I think between the lady and us, and that's who she's referencing as Lavaback.
Yep.
So, but yes, we honestly, again, did not expect to make this video at all because we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
Yep.
But honestly, I think this video I felt like had to be made just to clarify everything that what we're doing, because I feel like people are confused by how we learn in this game or in any game, realistically.
Mm-hmm. Which it's fine. We love to confuse people.
I know you do.
I said we. You're included in that.
No, not at all. But anyway, anything else to bring up, or should we bring it home?
I think we should bring it home.
Alright, so after all said and done, after 30 minutes of rambling, hopefully you guys did enjoy at least us doing a little bit, I guess, commentary over Fumic footage and kind of helping you understand us a little better. But anyway, wrapping it up. Hope you guys enjoy watching and listening to this video. If you did like it, leave a like for us. I don't know. Does something down there. I don't know what to do. But again, it's always up to you guys. Like, subscribe, up to you. But hey, at the end of the day, you decided to watch us, and that's gift enough for both of us, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
And no refunds.
Okay, get this guy out. For the third time, thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and we will see you guys in the next Heart Attack Hernia.
Yay!
Good night, everybody. Okay, now we be serious. Fuck all of them.
You just post that video on Twitter, just like, fuck YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Love you too, but fuck you all. Oh, God. We're going to hell.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, that was pretty good, honestly.